Welcome to Sacred Conversations. My name is Mandulo, and I work as a shaman. I help you with your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical and emotional health. I help you bridge the gap between the head and the heart using the medicine of breath, movement, sound, and touch. The message that came in today was if you are looking for consistency, the one thing that is consistent in life is change. Change is the most inevitable thing that you can guarantee that from each breath in and out that you take, something has changed, whether you are aware of it or not. Now I'm just looking at my Instagram. It is ma.ndulo_divines, ma.ndulo_divines. And this post was called Time for Change, welcoming the dance between comfort and discomfort. Now, this is the old version of you. When it's time for change, discomfort can show up in resistance sometimes. This is due to the memory of discomfort relating to pain and the fear of that being repeated. Now I'm speaking to the new version of you. When it's time for change, discomfort shows up in surrender and acceptance. Now, when discomfort shows up, you have shifted your mind to believe that fear is excitement. You might be in need of a minor or major transformation in your life right now. You've been drawn to this post, perhaps because you've been needing support of your mind and your spirit to be able to prepare you with certain steps so that you can process the change. What happens is, because from a spiritual perspective, you can perceive things ahead of time. Your physical body needs to catch up. And when that catches up, it becomes a process that you need to take. And sometimes lack of impatience could be wanting you to bypass the process. That's what impatience really is at the end of the day, is you wanting what you saw, what you envisioned, what you desired, what was taken up through idea. You want it now, and there's an urgency to bypass the process. Now, if you can come to the state that everything has a process. When you want to eat, whether you cook for yourself or whether you order out, that has a process. And I'm getting to just invite you to release that part of your aspect of you that wants it now. Right? So when we talk about that wanting it now, that sense of impatience, it has a lot to deal with the ego that is not integrated with your spirit. So there's a lack of embodiment that exists when that happens, when there's a serious impatience or serious level of impatience in your life. Now, I'm going to give you 5 processes when it's time for change to just help you start understanding the certain things that you need to think about around change and being an active participant through that change, because you are either consciously going through the process or will go through the process, or you have been unconsciously going through a change process. And when it is unconscious, a lot of it is habit pattern. So things are moving through you, but because your natural state of being is transformation and change, the unconscious states of you want to keep things consistent. So you resist the change, right? And here, if you understand that there's a constant dance between consciousness and unconsciousness, that you catch the two. And when you can catch the two and observe them like fully, then you won't prefer one over the other. It will become a meditation for you where it just is. Okay. So first and foremost, how the process of transformation takes place. You are first either not happy with your current state, or you are misaligned with who you know you truly are. So the first step is always recognition. Because through your unconscious patterning, sometimes what will happen is you do something, you think it's completely normal, but there's an aspect of you, your higher self, wanting you to expand and grow and change this habit. In order for you to inhabit that new version of you, this old version of you needs to alchemize and transform, right? So you're in a current state where you find yourself misaligned or not happy, and you can understand that transformation needs to take place. So you're at a conscious state. Now, first step is to recognize it. Give it recognition. Give it the recognition that it deserves. You come to your to converse with yourself, and then it's like, okay, I can see it's time for change. I recognize that it's time for change. I recognize that I might be resisting change. Now we can have a deeper sacred conversation. Then we go into the second part of it, is why? What's the purpose? The purpose will then also be based highly on your intention, because you recognize that something needs to change, or you recognize that you're misaligned or you're not happy. Okay, cool. Now we go to intention and purpose. First, you need to find out, why am I not happy? Why am I not misaligned? And why am I resisting the change? Then that intention goes to, I need change for, and usually it will be to align, to feel good in your body. It would be to tap into your highest perspective, and that would generally be your intention. And at the root of it, it will tap into feeling, because you want to feel good. When you're aligned, you feel light. It's a feeling of lightness, right? Then we move through the third process, which requires a commitment to this new version that understands change, who understands that change is necessary, and who called in the change. So the third process requires dedication, because now you're like, I can see I need change, and now I understand, and I can soften my heart around it and my mind, that I can't just receive the change. I need to go through a certain process of change, because I've got a certain habit pattern that has been going through some of you for years, your whole life, and now to unravel that, it doesn't mean that it's going to take the same amount of time for you to unravel that, but your mindset needs to shift, and you need to commit and be dedicated to yourself through that process. The person or the highest perspective on the other side of this version of you that is misaligned and unhappy needs to be the version that you see yourself as. You see yourself as this jovial person. You see yourself as light. You see yourself as a conqueror. You see yourself as magic. You see yourself walking in beauty. But you first have to understand that that process requires dedication and commitment, because there are going to be times when, just like every season, you are required to do different things. And through the ups and the downs, you are going to understand how to build consistency with yourself. That's commitment. Okay? Then the fourth part of the process is transformation. Now, the transformation that happens is very, very vast. The transformation goes into your mental aspects, your emotional aspects, your physical aspects, your spiritual aspects, and then all of that goes into your physical aspects. So your relationships, your the people around you, everything, the way in which you're going to start seeing the world is going to be different. So then that transformation ties up into number 5. I use 5. I don't know if I said this earlier, is because of numerology. Number 5 is for me, when it comes to 5, it's just an easier way to use that number because it initiates change anyways. It has that level of vibration where it's easier to move with it. So after transformation, there's an integration process. Okay? That integration process of your new beliefs, or recognizing your new beliefs, because remember, you're committed to your highest perspective, who is your most aligned self, your most happiest self, your most peaceful, your most radiant self, right? It's not that you're not radiant now, it's just the most radiant version of yourself. You're tapping into that energy. Now, the integration means that this is a bit by bit process, right? Even that bit by bit, that meal that you eat couldn't just be stuffed up in one mouthful or one chew and one swallow. It has to be eaten bit by bit, right? Same thing with your change, whatever change you are going to go through. Now, that's why I said that in your transformation, not only are you going to change internally, this internal change is going to physically manifest through bringing in new people into your life, bringing new things into your life, seeing things even on the same pathway you might have been walking every day differently. You're going to just see the world very differently. And you must understand that when you see the world differently, the world is also going to see you differently. So your relationships, you must be prepared that when you change, whether it's a minor or a major, your relationship and your relationships to everything and everyone is going to change depending on your level of commitment to yourself. Because this commitment means every single day I am committed to you to be my highest, my truest version of who I am. My highest, my truest, my most connected version of who I say I am. So that's just the process of change. It first starts with recognizing it, that it's time. Then 2 is the intention. So you have a purpose as to why you're doing it, and your purpose keeps you tethered. Then you go into the dedication. I am committed to loving myself. I'm committed to taking care of myself no matter what. And then you must understand the transformation that takes place is some of it will be quick and some of it is going to take time. Do I have time for myself? Can I give myself that time? And then 5, as I'm transforming, I am integrating. So the integration happens even in the recognition, even in the intention, even in the transformation, even in the dedication, and even in the integration. There's an integration in the integration, right? Because now you're sifting and sorting, and all you're doing, it's like a sieve. You're saying, okay, I need this fine flour. Any parts that are a little bit rough, I don't need, right? Because you know what it is you are making. So I hope that this has helped you understand the process and not bypassing the process. Being patient with yourself through the process and understanding that I wish I had known this a little bit earlier, but I had to go through that experience, and taking from my experience, this is exactly what I would do with any change, is recognizing these 5 steps and then sifting and sorting and going, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And then this becomes more of a fun experience, and it becomes more exciting because it's like, oh, instead of fear that I'm fearing change and I'm fearing my safety, will I be able to survive? I'm excited about me being able to thrive, and I'm excited of this new version that means that I'm going to have new habits, new people in my life, new experiences. And what a magical experience to have with that. I wish you the softest landing with this message. May you experience peace, and may you experience peace through any dis-ease. I'm sending so much love and light to you, giving you a very, very warm hug through this message. And I hope that whatever change that you understand you need to go through, that you are willing to take the steps. And I hope that this message has ignited and reignited the remembrance of who you are, the powerful being that you are. Please like, share, and subscribe so that you can be notified, because there is going to be more things that I'm going to be sharing on health, on mental, on your spiritual, emotional, physical health. Okay. Let us be aligned to the divine. Let us bring back respect. Let us bring back the highest order so that we can really radiate the goodness of the God within externally. And it is done. Until next time, goodbye.